Long awaited. This Thanksgiving is going to be wild. Yep. I mean, Thanksgiving is already past here in Canada, but it seems like my kind of feel of the Bitcoin market in the last week is that people who are 50, 60, 70, 80 are now starting to ask questions. And you have to feel that'd be the baby boomer generation. They're starting to ask questions about Bitcoin. They're asking their kids who own some Bitcoin. They're reaching out to me about Bitcoin. They're noticing. And I feel, as much as people like to shit on baby boomers, I feel for baby boomers right now because they spent 40 years, for the most part, the majority of them spent 40, 45 years working at a job that they did not necessarily love. And they thought they were promised this retirement, golden age. And all of a sudden, the pandemic hit when a lot of them were retiring. And then all of a sudden, their savings started to melt fast. And so the baby boomers now are starting to say, okay, well, I might have to either go back to work or I'm going to have to start looking into this Bitcoin thing. Because they thought, they worked for 40 years. They were promised this pension. They were promised that they would be able to retire at age 65. And because our governments and the small group of people who have been able to print money and create money and devalue their savings, now they can't afford to retire. And so they're looking for a place to keep their wealth that they've accrued through the years, all the energy and time and value that they've added to the world. They're looking for a place to store that. And the answer to that is Bitcoin. And they're starting to look at it at least now. They thought they were good. They thought that Bitcoin was too risky. They didn't need it. They were looked after. They had their pension. Everything was good. But the last 4 years, their vacation went from $1,000 to $3,000. Their rent in Mexico went from $500 a month to $4,000 a month. And all of a sudden they're either going back to work or they're going to have to buy some Bitcoin. And it's a tough reality. It's going to be a steep learning curve for them. But luckily, most of them have kids. Most of them have somebody who can help them with it. And if you are a baby boomer who needs some help and you somehow came across this channel and watching the show today, the good news, you can reach out to me anytime and I can help you with that very easily.